Hey guys, welcome to today's reading. Happy Valentine's Day. Today is going to be a love-focused reading. We are going to be tuning into your person and their feelings for you. So I kind of intended this as more of like an ex, situationship, twin flame type of vibe. However, there was also some current relationship energy coming through, so it really is open to anyone. If you want to know how this person is feeling about you, I tried to really cover all groups. So however you know this person, whether you're currently dating them, in a serious long-term relationship, you just met them, you're flirting, this is your ex, you have a situationship, twin flame, soul family, whatever the vibe, you can come into this reading and get some clarity about how they're feeling for you. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. And basically, you're going to see which of these cards is sticking out to you, calling your name, drawing your attention in towards it. And then as soon as you make up your mind, just scroll down to the timestamps in the comments and the description and jump right into your pile. By the way, if you like how I read tarot and you want to see more of it, then be sure to head to my Patreon. I just posted a reading about their forbidden desires for you, as well as blessings in 2026 and a friendship reading. So that's kind of where I'm posting right now because I'm unfortunately just so busy with life, can't be as active here on YouTube, but that's where you can find my current stuff. And you also get access to over 135 exclusive readings that you'll only find on Patreon. And then also you get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. So if that sounds good to you and you want to join me on Patreon, then head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description and jump right into your or not don't jump right into your pile. Yeah, you can, but head to my Patreon, sign up for Patreon. And then also, if you would like to book a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. You can get a half-hour reading with me or a full hour-length reading. You can sign up for a tarot, astrology, channeling, mediumship session, or combine those. You can have it be pre-recorded and sent to your email, or you can have it be live on Zoom with me. You get to really customize your time with me, so it's the perfect session for you. So if that sounds good, like I said, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. So that's about all I have to say, guys. If you need more time to figure out your pile, then feel free to pause, rewind, and take as much time as you need, but we're going to go ahead and get into your pile one. Hey, pile one, welcome to your reading. Let's get into these cards and see how this person feels about you. How does this person feel towards pile one, Spirit? How does this person feel towards pile one? Oh, wow. We have the Two of Cups coming right off the bat. So, okay, this is a deep set of emotions. We have all these Cups cards. So yeah, they have deep feelings for you. The Four of Cups. The Chariot. I feel like this person has tried to move on. We got the Eight of Cups and the Chariot. So they may have made an effort to like leave you behind and stop thinking of you. And I feel like that has not worked for them. They might even be trying to be in a new relationship with the Ace of Swords. Try to find someone else, but I feel like they still think of you and they would like to have contact again. They might think about sending you a text, type it up a million times, and then go through and delete it. I feel like with this person, they were almost taken aback and not expecting to care about you as much as they did. Like, I feel like they kind of tried to compartmentalize this and maybe even hide it in a way from certain people in their life. Like, they may have been like, I'm not going to tell my friends about it, or they're somehow embarrassed because they keep thinking about you. If you're in an active relationship, honestly, this is kind of intended as more of like an ex type reading. But if you're like, well, I'm going to still watch it and get info on my current relationship, this person cares a lot about you. And maybe they underestimated things when you first met and were kind of like, oh, this will be a hookup, or like, oh, they're really hot, but I'm not in the mood for a relationship or something. And then they find themselves really being drawn to you. And like, maybe they were shocked. Maybe there were other people they were talking to or hooking up with, but like something about you just stood out. I feel like this person, when they met you, they were not really looking for something really serious. However, you know, whether this is a current relationship, whether it's an ex, it's just giving like it really surprised them. And again, I feel like, you know, this is kind of intended as an ex reading, The Six of Swords, also, we have a lot of exiting cards. We have a lot of movement cards coming through. So I feel like this person very much wanted to put you out of their mind at a certain point, wanted to move on to new things. We got the Devil card, we got the Eight of Wands, we got the Ten of Wands, and we also got the Hierophant. So yeah, maybe there's a part of them with the Hierophant coming out that feels like this relationship isn't, for some reason, like it doesn't look good. And let me just space this out a little so you guys can see the cards a little bit better. But maybe this person with the Hierophant, they might be worried about their reputation. They might be trying to fit in some way. And they feel like if they were to go after you the way they want, that it would be a hit to their reputation. It could also be with the Devil card. This person could be alluding to their past trauma or your past trauma. Kind of like someone's trauma caused this relationship to not work out. And I'm not sure whose side it's on. I almost feel like it's mutual and there might be a past life connection. It's funny, before doing the reading, I was like going over my decks and trying to figure out which deck I should start with. And I really felt drawn to the past life reading deck. That deck is super heavy. So I was like, I don't think I'm going to use it. But now I'm like, oh, that makes sense, because I do feel like you guys probably knew each other in a past lifetime, or you've definitely got a soul contract with this person to act out some kind of soul lesson that needed to happen. And I feel like both of you guys played this role in different ways. Both of you guys acted out maybe bad dynamics from past lifetimes, and you acted it out in this lifetime as well. I feel like this person, they're mentioning that at a certain point, they blamed you for everything. They were like, yeah, pile number one is totally toxic with this Devil card. Pile number one has issues. Pile number one, blah, blah, blah. Pile number one ruined it. Almost like pile number one is going to learn this lesson. Or pile number one, you know, they're never going to make a relationship work, and they need to sit with that. And so I feel like when there was first a separation, they felt very comfortable with that, very confident with that, very like chill about whatever. And I almost feel like some of their behavior was because they wanted you to act differently. Even if this was just a crush or it was like a flirtation and then they never hit on you, I feel like that's because they were waiting for you. Like, it's almost giving me this vibe that this person feels like a teacher, and that was their mentality too. Like, they always could see your flaws, or they could always see where you were doing things wrong, and they really couldn't see as much where they were doing things wrong. It's not to say they didn't like you, because I definitely feel like they did like you, but I also feel like they took this mentality that like, oh, pile number one has a lot to learn. Oh, pile number one has issues. Pile number one is still learning, and I'm gonna kind of be patient and teach them. So like I said, if you're still in a relationship with this person, it could be kind of nice. Like, this could be the person that teaches you stuff, but you feel like you walk away from the relationship, or you're in the relationship, you're getting better, you're improving. But I feel like this could also be very frustrating to deal with, like someone who is almost lecturing to you, or someone where when you guys get in an argument or a disagreement or a fight, they kind of immediately blame you. They immediately are like, well, what are you doing? Or if this was a crush and it never developed, it could have been, it didn't develop because they really put it on you. And they kept being like, well, when are you going to ask me out? Or like, well, you're being too shy and I don't like that. And I want you to come to me. And I feel like this person felt very confident in that, kind of like, hey, I'm not doing anything wrong. You need to step it up. You need to act better. I think over time they've realized that they have their own issues too. And it's almost like, even if you are the most dysfunctional person on the planet, which I'm not saying you are, pal one, but I feel like even if you are, this person would still want to be with you. This person still likes you enough that they would be with you regardless. So, you know, whether you are someone who has 10 million problems in your head, maybe that is the case. But even if it's the case, I feel like this person would still rather be with you than anyone else. It reminds me, I think Johnny Cash said about his wife, or no, I think, well, yeah, another quote from him about his wife was, someone said, what is your idea of heaven? And he said, this morning, having breakfast with my wife. Or I've heard another quote, I don't know who said it, but it's like, I'd rather fight with you than make love to anyone else. And I feel like this person had to learn that the hard way. Like at first, they may have felt a lot of relief, kind of like, okay, I don't have to deal with this person anymore. Or, they're kind of crazy, or they have all these issues, or they messed up and they have to learn that they should have approached me more. Either way, it was a lot of like blaming on you. Now I feel like they look at it and they're like, I miss pile I miss pile one. And whoever was at fault, like I really miss pile one. And maybe they've tried to distract themselves with others. Maybe they've tried to find other relationships, but I feel like it just does not hit the same. And they're left wanting you, they're left thinking of you. But I also feel like this person is saying they made a little bit of an idiot of themselves. Like they kind of made a fool of themselves in some way, or they have too much pride to come to you now. I feel like they definitely have this Hierophant card mentality where they think a lot about their reputation. They think a lot about what their friends would say or what some random third party would think. So I think that they're not the kind of person who would like do something crazy and send you a love letter out of the blue, because they would be too embarrassed, too afraid that you would like post it online and make fun of them or something. But I do feel like in their mind, they view it as a Four of Cups moment. They view it as your relationship and you guys meeting was a gift from spirit, and it was magical and it was meant to be. And it was something that was very special and almost holy that came out of the blue. And like I said, as much as this person has tried to replace you, tried to just move on and find someone new and like, hey, whatever, it was no big deal. We had a flirtation. Who cares? But like over time, they're like, well, I don't feel that same way about anyone else. And I just, yeah, I thought it would be easy to replace pile one, but I don't have this depth of connection with anyone else. So if you're in a relationship with this person, yeah, that could have been, it could have been like they at first had a runner mentality. They were running away. They were trying to get away from their feelings, and then it caught up with them. But yeah, I feel like this person deep down inside, like they really want you. They really miss you. They really cared about you. I feel like they kind of get a kick out of you as well. I'm almost feeling like I want to laugh. I feel like there were things you did that they think of as very funny and kind of quirky or almost weird. That again, when you guys broke up, they may have turned it into a negative in their mind and been like, "Ugh, pile one has so many issues. They're weird. They've got problems. I'm so much better off without them." And now they're like, I love their weirdness and I'm so kind of bored with maybe the current person I'm with or whatever's going on in my life now. Maybe I'm hooking up with random people or maybe I'm in a relationship, but I feel like they don't have that magic and this kind of spark that you gave off. They can recognize now how deeply rare it was. And I think that's something that makes them very sad. Again, I just get this very steely resolve with them with the Chariot card coming out that like they're not going to admit defeat. They're kind of in a 10 of Wands moment where they're carrying this burden. They know that they may be messed up, but they don't feel like there's a way out. They can't drop these wands. They have to carry them. They're like, that's it. I will show you the 10 of Wands card. They feel like, they're kind of trapped in this situation and it is what it is. So I just feel like they're also maybe the kind of mindset that they're not going to dwell on it too much. Like they're not going to stay up late at night and like write poetry about like the love they lost. They're not gonna, a lot of times they don't want to fully admit it to themselves. I feel like it pops into their head in random moments where they're like, oh yeah, and their smile, or oh, this song, like she really loved this song, and almost like chuckling about it, but they know they're not happy and they know you come into their mind a lot. They know deep down that like you're the one that got away, but I feel like they are also not wanting to fully dive into those emotions. They're trying to keep it at bay still because I feel like this person really doesn't want to like admit defeat. They really don't want to admit that they bungled things that badly. So I feel like sometimes they go back and forth between genuinely being depressed and also being like, no, it's fine and it's not a big deal and I'm doing exactly the right thing and oh well. So yeah, they don't really they don't really go one way or the other. They're not trying. It's kind of an inner battle, and neither side is winning. They do have the denial, but they also have those moments of clarity where they realize that they messed up, and they kind of battle back and forth between that. Let me get into these cards for you, pile number one. So let's see. Let's see. How does this person feel towards pile one, Spirit? How does this person feel towards pile number one? How does this person feel towards pile number one? Okay. So we have, planning, setting intentions, optimism, sickle, focus, regrowth, letting go. That's interesting because sowing and sickle, that's like sowing versus harvest, like total opposite. So like I said, a lot of that push pull. Maybe sometimes they're planning a lot. They're like, I am going to reach out. I'm going to text them. I'm going to start planning this. I'm going to make this happen. And then sometimes their mind is like, you know what? I just need to get over this. I need to move on. I need to stop thinking about this. I need to focus on this part of my life. I need to focus on my job. I need to focus on blah, blah. Maybe I should start a family. Like, I do feel like there's a lot of kind of inner conflict. And like I said, neither side is winning. It's almost like it depends on their mood. It depends on how much they've had to drink. They say alcohol is the truth serum, and maybe after they've had a few beers or whatever, that's when they can kind of like be for real. But I also feel like they really are trying hard to stay on the straight and narrow. I feel like I've said it before, but this person cares a lot about reputation and propriety and making sure that they don't make a fool of themselves or do something stupid that everyone would make fun of them. So they're going to have the self-control not to send that risky text. And the energy I'm getting, it almost feels rueful. Like I said, someone kind of laughing and shaking their head like, oh my God, I was crazy. They were crazy. I feel like it's a really fond memory for them, but also they're kind of in this almost depressive mindset where they're like, yeah, but there's no way it could happen, or there's nothing that could be done, or, oh, well, like, yeah, it didn't work out. And they sometimes can just really keep their mind clear with that. Like they're not going to always have intrusive thoughts. They're able to manage it somewhat, and then sometimes it pops out and it's not controllable. Let's get into these. The walking staff, support, encouragement. And this one is salt, protection, banishing negativity. That makes a lot of sense for the feeling I'm getting, because it does feel still like denial. It does feel like I don't want to admit this. And that feeling of banishing negativity, like, oh, I'm just not even going to let myself think of that. I feel like that happens a lot with this person. And it's almost sad. It's kind of like when you're driving down the wrong highway, like if you've ever missed an exit and then you're like, oh, shoot, I have to reroute. Like I remember one time I was on a road and it was like, stay on this road for 100 miles. So I'm like, okay, great. And I'll just, a lot of times when you're on those road trips, you leave the directions up. And then it's like every time you want to like switch a song on your phone, or you want to like listen to a different podcast or whatever, you have to navigate up and then like swipe out. So it's just an extra step. So I was like, I'll just save battery. I'll exit out of the map. And then of course I drove like 100 miles, maybe checked in at like 60, and I was like, oh great, I have plenty to go. And then of course next time I checked, it finally dawned on me. I'm like, wait, I didn't check the exit. And I realized I had driven way further than just 100 miles. So it was like maybe 120 miles. And I was so annoyed because when I did like the rerouting, I was like, okay, maybe there'll be another way I can cut through. And it was like, no, you have to go back 20 miles. And I was so irritated. It was such an annoying feeling versus like most of the time when you miss an exit, it's like, oh, I have to go 2 minutes around and then I'll loop back. This was like a 20-mile diversion, 40 miles total, right? And that was so irritating. That was like the worst feeling. And this person, it's like they're even worse than that. Imagine someone goes 1,000 miles out of the direction, or they drive the whole way into like a totally new place. I feel like this person, they don't want to like really realize how they felt. There is a sense that maybe there's other things as well that they have in their life that they're trying to kind of almost protect. Like maybe they're in a new relationship, or they have a friend group that would really make fun of them or be like, you're crazy. I feel like this person feels like they don't really have the option to go back. I also feel like their feelings towards you, they feel like maybe you would reject them or you would laugh at them. And I feel like that is kind of weighing heavily in their mind too. They don't want to have you like completely laugh in their face. So, yeah, they just kind of want to like keep sticking it out and just almost distract themselves in the moment, like paying attention to what movies are funny or what movie just came out or what TV show they should watch or the news. Like, I feel like there's a lot of that distraction and not a lot of like therapy or deep emotional thinking. They do a lot of like pushing that off and kind of brushing it to the side. Let's get into these song cards for you. Pile number one. Let's see what song cards we get for pile one. So we have Right Through Me, Nicki Minaj. So this person may have felt like you knew them more than anyone else. And I feel like that level of intimacy, they're also saying they feel like they know you better than anyone else. Halcyon, Ellie Goulding. And Halcyon Days, I didn't know till I looked up the title of her album, but it means like beautiful, perfect days that you look back at in memory. They obviously don't exist kind of in the real world. They only can exist in memory because it's like everything seems so perfect the way they do when we look back at a time in our life. And so I feel like you're that for this person. I Was a Fool, Tegan and Sarah. Yeah. Then we have Call It What You Want, Taylor Swift. That's a really good song for this person's vibe because I feel like that song has a kind of like defeated vibe. Like, call it what you want. I'm not going to argue with you. I took a knife to a gunfight. They took the crown, but it's all right. Those lyrics, I feel like, are so like resigned to what happened. And I feel like that it's almost like this person is just low energy. Maybe they're depressed or something. It just feels like they're not even gonna get mad, but they would be mad if they could be. Like, if their emotions were normal, they would be mad and they would maybe be sad and like crying and doing something about it. But I feel like they kind of feel like there's no point. They're very hopeless. For some of you guys, you may have really broken their heart at the time. Like, they may have really felt like very bereft and heartbroken and sad when you left or when you guys weren't together. So I feel like in some ways, I don't know, not for everyone, but there may have been a trauma that just was so intense that they're like, I can't go back there. I just feel like there's such a strong mental block up. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys get contacted by this person when, in like 30 years, because I do feel like this is the kind of person that if they actually went to therapy or if they actually had time alone or took up a practice of like yoga or meditation and had to do, some alone time and just be in their own head and energy, they would have lots of thoughts of you pop up and they wouldn't be able to run away from it. It's only through distracting themselves that they can pretend those feelings aren't there. And when they actually have to confront those feelings, they can be really overwhelming. So I feel like that's why they kind of do other stuff to like take their mind off it. With the devil card, it may even be someone who's like drinking a lot or doing other drugs, smoking weed, whatever. So yeah, I feel like they kind of want to take the easy way out and just do what doesn't threaten their life, doesn't threaten their feelings, doesn't make them have to make a fool of themselves. That's how they would view it. We also got, it's kind of blurred because a friend of mine spilled water on these cards. Alien Days, MGMT, Everlong, Foo Fighters. Let's see, what other cards? A Sky Full of Stars, Coldplay, and Talking Body, Tovlo. So yeah, I feel like you were this like incredible spark that came into their life, but it's almost like you burned the whole house down, Romeo, Chairlift. like they are a totally different person since they met you to now. And I feel like, yeah, that spark that burns the house down is a really good metaphor because it's kind of like it was fun and enjoyable, but they felt so burned by it. They felt so upset about how it all went down and they kind of couldn't process it. And so now I almost feel like they're in this mentality of like, never again. I'm not going to let that happen. And, I'm going to stay strong. I'm going to block this person out and I'm not going to do that. I need to get my dignity back. I also feel like maybe there's a part of them that they do want to make you suffer a little because I feel like again, they have this teacher mentality or almost like this get revenge mentality where I think sometimes they feel that what you did, like you deserve to be upset. So even if they know that like they're suffering, if they feel like you're suffering, they don't want to reach out and break the silence, which is kind of messed up. But I think that they want to be sure that you're going to miss them because they know they miss you so much. And they're like, if I have to suffer to make that happen, I don't care. You know how sometimes it'll go viral, like a standoff, like two cars in an alleyway and neither one will move or something like that, or two cars in a parking garage and they're just like facing each other and they're one is like I'm not moving and the other's like I'm not moving, so neither one will leave. And it's like even though they know like, oh, this is a waste of my time and this is kind of stupid and what's the point, they're still gonna like battle with that person. And I kind of feel like this person has that mentality too where they're like, even if I am suffering, I am not going to make the first move because I want pile one to be down bad and I want pile one to miss me and I want pile one to regret how they treated me. There is that strong mentality around that. Like it does feel like this person has this a little bit of vindictiveness, but it's in this kind of passive aggressive petty way where you wouldn't be obvious at first. It doesn't seem like a vindictive ex. It's not like they're texting you crazy stuff or, harassing you. But I feel like deep down inside, like they know you were kind of hurt and they want you to be hurt. They want you to be missing them. They want you to be upset about it. And they're like, I'll never be the one to break that contact because I want pile one to miss me and I want pile one to suffer. And I think as time goes on, they realize kind of how short-sighted that was. And they also, I think, again, at the beginning, thought you would eventually crack and reach out to them. But like I said, it's kind of like maybe at first you get in that standoff with someone in a parking garage or wherever, and you're like, okay, this other car is going to move. They're going to see I mean business, and then they're going to move. And I know it's just going to take a few minutes, but that's okay. But like, if you're there for an hour, you're probably going to start questioning and being like, why did I start this fight with this person? Like, that was dumb. And now I have to sit in my freaking car staring in this parking garage. Like, I wanted to do this today, and I'm in my car waiting. Like, you're probably going to regret that. And I feel like the same with this person. Like, they're realizing that, like, you're not going to reach out. So I feel like if they could go back and do it different, they would have. But Spirit is saying like this is also echoing a lot of past life energy, and this person almost doesn't even know how to, because the thing is that in past lives there was some kind of dynamic. I almost feel like in a past life you may have been the down bad one who was like pursuing them, and they kind of got to be selfish and do their own thing and like focus on me and myself, and they were like the loved one and you were the lover. You were the active one who was like pursuing, like you were the chaser and they were the runner. And I feel like in this lifetime maybe you guys made the soul contract to meet up, but you're like, I'm not doing that again. I'm not I'm not going to chase you again. And they were like, okay, sure. But their human self forgot, and they go to this earth and they were like, okay, perfect, I know this dynamic, I love pile one and I know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to chase me, this will be great. And I feel like they've been just kind of flabbergasted, like totally shocked that you're not chasing them and that you are instead focusing on you and doing your thing. I feel like that has thrown them for a major loop. Let me get some astro dice to end this reading. What astrological energies are at play for pile one and this person's feelings for them? So we have Jupiter in Taurus in the 10th house. Interesting. So the signs involved would be Sagittarius, Taurus, and Capricorn. So double Earth. Yeah. You know, it's funny, Sagittarius, Jupiter, and Taurus, they're kind of opposite signs. And Jupiter gives blessings. Taurus is slow and steady. And I do feel like this person has that cautiousness of the earth signs. So Jupiter and Taurus in the 10th house can give like financial blessings through reputation, through having a good reputation. It makes sense to me because I feel like this person is being very logically minded. This person is being very like rational. You know, they have tried to rationalize their way through this. They may be someone that prides themselves on like science and, you know, logic, and they're not really big into like astrology and emotions and woo-woo and feelings. So I feel like in a way, again, maybe that was what they looked down upon you, like I was saying at the beginning of the reading. Maybe they felt like you were too emotional and like, you know what, I'm just not going to deal with this and I'm going to fall out of love, and these are just temporary feelings. And now I feel like they have to admit the power of that love, the power of how hard it is to find someone else that you care that much about, why so many like love stories just resonate with us, and you know, it's like the most powerful human thing we can experience. They were kind of derisive or looking down on it, or even like dismissive towards you as a partner. Like I just feel like maybe in past lifetimes they were kind of like dismissive of you, but you were always running after them. And they were kind of like, oh, you're cute and I love you, but I'm going to keep doing my thing. Like, I'm the star of this show. And they kind of thought that like that was going to still be the same vibe. I feel like in this lifetime, you were like, if you do it again, I'm going to go off and do my own thing. I'm not going to stick around. And that will be your lesson to learn, but no more repeating this lifetime dynamic over and over and over. And I feel like this person is just very shook. Like they never expected you to leave. They never expected you to say enough. And they are still kind of putting together the pieces of how could that happen? And you were supposed to pursue me, and you were supposed to be the one to apologize, or you were supposed to be the one to ask me out. So they're kind of like, what just happened, you know? And yeah, I feel like their feelings don't go away. They kind of like stay on them for the longest time, and when they're least expecting it, and lends this bittersweet quality to everything. Like I feel like on, you know, their birthday, like their partner could be singing them happy birthday and giving them the cake and all their friends are around. It's supposed to be a really happy moment, and bam, a thought of you pops into their mind, and they're just like, what? Like, it's very powerful. And I feel like this person, again, they feel very like logic, sciency, like rational minded type person. So I feel like if that happens, they would also be like, what the heck is going on? Like they don't think of themselves as like a lovesick, romantic, like hung up on someone for years, and they're kind of embarrassed that that has happened to them, and they wouldn't want anyone to know. So yeah, that is what I have for you. Pile number one. I really hope that resonates, guys. If it does, let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you guys and figuring out or knowing from you whether it resonated, whether this fits your relationship or it makes sense to you. So please let me know. Also, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit the little bell. And if you want to see more of my content, then you can head to my Patreon. I'm not able to post as much on YouTube because I'm just so busy with my life. However, I am still posting actively on Patreon. I just posted a reading about their hidden desires, their forbidden fantasies about you. Also, a reading about your blessings in 2026, as well as a friendship reading. So there is a ton of content to choose from, over 150 exclusive readings, and you also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. If that sounds good to you, then head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and I would love, don't head to my website, head to my Patreon, and the link for that is underneath the timestamps. But if you want a private reading, you can go to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description, and you can book a session with me, whether you want it to be a quicker 30-minute reading, a full hour-length reading, whether you want it to be focused on tarot, astrology, channeling, mediumship, a combination, whether you would like it to be pre-recorded and sent to you or live over Zoom. You get to really customize your time with me, so it's the perfect reading for you. If that sounds good, then head to my website, briarrosetarot.com. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very, very soon with another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile two, welcome to your reading. So let's see how this person is feeling about you. How is this person feeling about you? So we got the Hermit. Okay. How is this person feeling about pile number 2? The Four of Pentacles reversed. How is this person feeling about pile 2, Spirit? Okay, these are too many cards. We want 1 or 2 cards max, Spirit. How is this person feeling towards pile number 2? How is this person feeling towards pile number 2? The first thing that's coming through with the Hermit, and now we have the Moon card backing that up, is this person finds you very mysterious. We also just got the Seven of Wands. But they find you very mysterious, maybe even with the Seven of Wands, kind of defiant. And as I'm saying that, we got the Queen of Swords as well. So there is an aspect to the Queen of Swords that is very, like, defiant too. I mean, she has a sword. Like, you use swords to fight. They literally, there is a vibe to the sword court cards that, like, yes, they're intellectual, they're smart, but they're also like not taking any prisoners. They're not soft and warm and fuzzy the way the cups are. There is something very like tough, and I feel like this person may feel you have a lot of boundaries up. They may feel like you aren't just letting anyone in, and they may feel kind of intimidated and almost scared about how to go about approaching you. I don't know if this is an ex or this is like a crush that is currently, that someone currently has on you. But it feels like they don't know what you're going to say, or they don't know what you're going to do. If you're in a relationship with this person, they're like low-key a little afraid of you, which could be nice. But we do have the Two of Cups, so they do feel deeply about you. We also got the Temperance card and the Devil card. Yeah. Let's see. How do they feel towards pile number 2, the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups? So yeah, I feel like this person wants to be on their best behavior for you. They want to be that beautiful. Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups are kind of like the players of the zodiac. You know, they have the most charisma. They're that guy. They do it in different ways, but they both are those guys that can go up to any girl at the club and get her number, or can make a girl fall in love with her. You know, the Knight of Cups might do it through writing poetry. The Knight of Wands might be a little more sexual and direct, but both of them are like the charmers that can have any woman they want. So I feel like this person wants to be on their best behavior, or if you're a man watching this, that could be how they view you. They could view you as the Knight of Cups and Wands, where they see you as very sexy. They see you as this guy who could have anyone, and maybe that's making them a little shy. I am getting kind of a masculine feminine dynamic in this, where it feels like the feminine is a little bit more soft and mysterious and unknowable and kind of shy, to be honest. And then the masculine feels more strong and dominant, and like they're putting on their best behavior. So since the majority of my viewers are women, I'm going to kind of read more for that, but like take it how it resonates for you. But yeah, I feel like this person kind of use you, if you are the feminine, as soft and mysterious, but they don't really know how to approach you. There does seem like there's walls up, and this person is kind of like, I'm not sure what to say, or I don't know how to go about this, or they really are feeling self-conscious and wanting to be that best version of themselves. They want to have the best line. They want to make you laugh. They want to please you. They want to make you happy. And they do feel like you have this mentality that's like, if you're not adding value to my life, goodbye. Like with the Hermit card, you might seem completely okay being alone, and this person can sense that. If this is someone from your past, by the way, a negative aspect of this could be that this person sees you as being alone, or like they're looking at your Instagram and they're like, yeah, I don't see that there's another guy around. Awesome, great, perfect, that's what I wanted. Because I do feel like this person is very positive about this Hermit vibe. Like they don't feel like, oh, they're the Hermit and I wish they'd come out more, it's so annoying. They feel like I love that they're the hermit. They, if it's like a new relationship, maybe they see it as mysterious and a challenge, and they like imagining, like, what do they do with their free time? I never see them out. I never, they have this whole world that I can see that they live in their mind, and I don't have access to it. And this person likes that. But if it's like an ex, I feel like that is reassuring to them too. And it's almost like, okay, I can breathe. I can take my time. I don't need to rush this, because pile number 2 is not going to be letting anyone else in anyway. Like, I know how pile 2 works, and they're not going to be having like 3 new boyfriends in the span of a week. They're too shy for that. They don't go out a lot. They don't go to the club. So I'm good. I can take my time. So yeah, take that how that resonates. If you're like, I want this person to be missing me, then, maybe you should do something to like let them know you're not always going to be in hermit mode. Maybe you should go out to the club and take some pictures and post it to your Instagram so they step their game up and like come a little bit more correct. But I feel like if you are, because yeah, even with this temperance card, they may feel like they have all the time in the world. And that's what's kind of annoying to me, is I do feel like this person has a vibe where they do feel very connected to you, but it also is like, I know I can trust pile 2. I know pile 2 trusts me. I know pile 2 has feelings for me, and it doesn't feel like they think they need to rush. It kind of feels like they're not really sure how to approach you, and so they're kind of like, well, I'm going to take my time with it. But it's kind of like when you procrastinate, like you say, well, I'm not in the good mood to write this English paper, and so I'm just going to wait and I'll write it tomorrow because I'm stressed about XYZ today and I can't really focus. So I'm just not going to do it today. I don't know what to say in the essay. I'm going to think on it, and then I'm going to come up with the topic. And then of course the next day comes around, and maybe you say the same thing, and even though you want to write the essay, and even though it's probably creating low level stress in the back of your mind, you're also able to like tell yourself like, hey, it's not a big deal. And in that way, it can kind of be something you neglect for a long time. So I feel like this person sees you as an interesting combination where there's this standoffishness with the 7 of Wands. They feel like you are standing your ground. You're very powerful. I'll show you guys the 7 of Wands. They feel like you're kind of a fighter. You're not an easy person, but at the same time, there is this chillness to you. I don't know how to describe it, but you feel like someone who, like I said, kind of lives in their own world in some ways. Like, you're very creative, you're very dreamy. Maybe you read a lot of books or something. I feel like this person sees that about you. Like, they know that you are someone who has your own vivid world that you live in. And that gives you a softness and kind of a dreamy quality. But at the same time, you're standoffish and you're not letting everyone in, and they may sense that you're a little bit cold to strangers. Again, I think they might actually like that and think, oh, like, they're not going to let anyone hit on them. They're just going to be waiting for me. With the Devil card, this person might even be up to some bad behavior where they're talking to other people, or they're still not really fully growing up or showing up in the relationship the way you may want them to. And I feel like with that Devil card, again, they almost have this certainty or this mentality that's like, oh, I have all the time in the world. Hey, it's no big deal. I'll just take my time. Maybe I'm dysfunctional, but pile 2 will put up with it. Pile 2 has to love me, kind of a thing. I feel like they kind of feel like they can turn on the charm when they need to. And they may keep telling themselves that like one day they're going to come back and win you over once they figure out exactly how to approach it. But it's almost giving that vibe that like, wow, I'm really into pile 2. But maybe if they're going to wait for me, I can also like talk to this person and talk to that person. And they don't really occupy the same place in my heart. But, pile 2 expects a lot. I also feel like they are saying that you expect a lot, or you have high standards or something. Maybe this was someone you were in a relationship with where you were like, hey, you need to like do stuff around the house to help me out. Or, hey, like, I'm not paying your bills, or you need to pay my bills. Or like, maybe you had some expectations, like, you need to be the one who takes me out to eat. I'm not just going to like let you come over to my place and Netflix and chill all the time. Or there was something you expected from them, or you wanted them to like quit smoking or quit drinking a lot. I don't know. It feels like sometimes this person could fall into bad behaviors. I'm not going to lie. It feels like they have all this desire for you, but it's almost like they're not in the place in their life where they're ready or they're capable to actually do that. You know, they're like, they want it, but if it's like, okay, you need to do this to make it happen, then, never mind. It's kind of like when, you see a model and you think like, wow, they have such a perfect body. I'm going to start going to the gym. I'm going to get that body. And then it's like someone brings donuts to the office, or you had a, hard day at work, and you can come home and you can either steam some broccoli and chicken breast, or you can order in some, a burger with fries or whatever, or a pizza, and you're like, yeah, I'm just going to order in the burger, because it's a lot harder to like make that change. So I feel like with this person, they do really like you. They do feel a connection, but I'm not going to lie. I also feel like they kind of have this like not being ready yet vibe. Like it's almost like they're telling me like, hey, I'm not ready yet, but I will be, but just trust me. And it's like, okay, when are you going to be ready? And there's no plan. It's kind of like someone saying, I don't have the money yet, but I promise I'll buy it. I will buy it. Can you set it aside for me? Or will you just wait for me to come in? And obviously a shopkeeper is going to be like, no, like you need to either have the money or not. And so I feel like this person, they kind of have a lot of these promises they tell themselves. And some of that is around you. Like, oh, I'm going to be better, and one day I'm going to be good enough to actually get pile two, and then I'm going to win them over, and then I'm going to do everything right, and then I'm going to come correct. But are they actually going to do that? I don't know. Let's get into these cards for you. Pile number 2. How does this person feel towards pile 2, Spirit? How does this person feel towards pile 2? How does this person feel towards pile number 2, Spirit? Time. That is so funny. Literally time. I mean, I know they mean the herb, but I'm thinking like they think they have all this time. They think that it's like, you put something on reserve in a store, like you ask them to put it on hold for you. Like, oh, can you keep this for me and I'll come back in later? And you can go off and like stroll around, and you don't want to buy it yet, but you're like, okay, I'm going to come back tomorrow. And then you can go enjoy yourself at the mall, and you just know like no one else is going to take it. It'll still be there when I get back. And I feel like this person kind of thinks that of you. Like they have this certainty that like you're waiting for them somehow. So we got time, presence, self-awareness, preserve. Wow, a lot of these themes around like putting something on hold, waiting. I mean, that's what you do when you preserve food, right? You can it or preserve it in the summer so you can eat it in the middle of winter, and it's going to be safe and it's going to be good. And even though you packed the peaches in July, that you'll be able to eat it in February, and there's no rush, or even next year if you really want to. I just feel like this person, that's what I don't like about it. They have this certainty and this feeling that like, I have all this time in the world. So if you've been wondering like, why is this person not approaching me, or why do I feel this spark with them? We have amazing conversation, but like they're not getting their ish together. And I just heard that song, speaking of like that exact lyric, from Taylor Swift. And I think it's the song Renegade. And she says, I'm sick and something like, and I'm paraphrasing, can't remember. I'm sick and tired of asking you when you'll get your ish together so I can love you. And I feel like that whole song, like the whole album, to be honest, with Taylor, it has a different tone now, because there were so many songs like Renegade about like, I'm gonna love you back to the best version of yourself, or like you're not ready yet, but we're gonna get through it together, or we had another fight, but I love you, and like I'm gonna fight for you, and we're gonna make it through. And also like songs about like I'll marry you with a paper ring. And now it's like we know like he never proposed, and apparently that was one of the reasons, like one of the main reasons they broke up, is he just refused to propose. So it is kind of a cautionary tale, I guess, about like what happens when you wait for someone, when someone's like, I'm not ready, but I will be in a year. I'm not ready now, but maybe 2 years. And I think she spent like 6 years with him. That's a long time to wait for someone to propose to you. You know, that's a long time to be like hoping for a ring, hoping for proposal, them telling you like, not quite now. And I think she has that line in the same song, Renegade, or another song that's like, how can you talk about timing in times like these? And so it's like, even the whole time, he kept talking about the timing's not right. Anyway, not to go on a tangent with that, but I just feel like I'm not going to say, like, hey, you guys should break up with this person or anything like that. But it just irritates me when someone's like, no, the timing. I mean, sometimes that is the case, but I do feel like with this person, I don't love their sense of certainty and peace. I'm not saying I don't want them to have peace and I want them to be stressed all the time, but sometimes you want that little fire under someone's behind. You want them to like take action and make it happen and let's go. And yeah, I am feeling like this person has a big sense of calm and relaxation and not a lot of like intensity and urgency. It just feels like very chill, very relaxed, very calm, like, oh, she'll be there. Don't worry. It's okay. So we also got rosemary, remembrance, loyalty, faithfulness, and soil, stability, simplicity. So I do feel like this person is loyal to you. They are, they do care about you. They have those feelings for you. Even if you're like, this was a crush and this person is still dating around, I feel like you are in the forefront of their mind and they have this fondness towards you. They have this feeling of love towards you and happiness towards you. And there could be, I'm not going to lie, there could be something very positive about this. Like, there is an aspect of this relationship where if you're actively dating this person, they could just have this chillness and calm around a stable relationship. So it's not all bad. I am doing a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. But it just feels like there's such a strong feeling of safety. So I guess it depends. If you're in an active relationship and this person is moving things forward and like they've made it clear they're serious about you, then just take it as like they feel very safe in this relationship. They feel really good. They feel very positive and very relaxed. But if you're like, no, I've been with my boyfriend 4 years and he hasn't proposed, then like I would say, yeah, I'm not getting a lot of urgency. I'm not getting a lot of like, I got to do this. Oh my God, someone's going to take pile 2 from me and I gotta please them. And if you're also like, if this wasn't a crush or this was a relationship that didn't work out and you guys broke up, or this is also someone that you like and they haven't made their move yet, I would not like, it's probably the Venus Aries in me. I can't stand when someone's like dawdling or they're just like, yeah, I'm just going to be super chill about this. So it is my bias. But with that being said, just know this person is not feeling like they have a lot of urgency to me. They don't feel like they're coming in hot. They know they got to take their claim. They know there are so many other people interested. It feels like, hey, pile 2 is going to be here. We have plenty of time together. I have plenty of time. It's all chill. It's all good. So just take whatever you want from that. Maybe you love that. Maybe you don't. Let's get into these song cards. So we got underneath it all, no doubt. God's plan, Drake. Wouldn't it be nice, the Beach Boys. The heart wants what it wants, Selena Gomez. One thing about you, they think of you as so smart, pile number 2. They think of you as like incredibly smart. And as I'm saying that, I get a kick out of you. Frank Sinatra, yeah. I feel like they see you as sharp as a tack and very, like they're almost a little bit daunted by you. Like, I don't know how to approach. And they're, like I feel like they would get a little bit nervous before dealing with you. Maybe that's why some of them are just like not moving forward because they're so kind of scared and afraid of saying the wrong thing or whatever. We got I Will, The Beatles, Bruises, Chairlift. I never like to say this name because I'm trying not to curse on YouTube, so I don't know why I wrote this one down. Beyonce and Jay-Z, Ape, Kitchen Witch, Ariel Pink, emotion, the Bee Gees, and delicate, Taylor Swift. I mean, there is a very cute feeling as I stay with this energy more. It does feel very cute. It almost feels like for those of you guys who are in a long-term relationship with this person, they have that beautiful feeling of safety and happiness around you. I do feel like, let me pull some tarot. Let me see what other tarot cards want to come up. I didn't pull tarot for pile one, but this Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups are sticking out to me now. How does this person feel towards pile? Wow. Okay. So we actually got the Ten of Cups. So if you've stuck it out and you're in a relationship, I mean, this person could want a future with you. I feel like they love being around you. And again, they see you as this Queen of Swords that's coming through so strong. The Queen of Swords is so intelligent. She's very dynamic. She's good in conversation. She's very knowing what she wants, very kind of strong-minded, I guess. You know, she's not a pushover. She's not easy. The Two of Wands. How does this person feel towards pile number two? It does feel like they want to put their best foot forward with you. So, you know, it's not all bad. I think it really depends on this person's, you're going to kind of have to use your intuition. Like if you feel like they're moving things forward with you, like you're actually in a relationship and this person is talking about the future and they do want to move things forward, then disregard what I said. But if you've been feeling stagnancy or like this person is an ex and a crush and they are not reaching out, then I mean, they really like you. And that's the thing. They really, really like you. I feel like this person is saying that it's like they see such a long-term history that they could have with you, a long-term future with you. They feel like you guys could end up together for a really long time. And I feel like they think of you as very loyal. They think of you as having this mysteriousness and this allure. But they also might be kind of arrogant. Maybe they are a player. Maybe they are the Knight or the Page of the Knight or the Knight of Cups or the Knight of Wands. So they may be someone who's had a lot of sexual or romantic success and they're used to dating around, and that's why they're so confident. I don't know. I'm just getting kind of some cockiness from them where they're like, oh yeah, pile two will be here for sure. Maybe it's just because of who they are. But they do really like you and they do see you as someone that I feel like they could love spending time with you. Like when they're in conversation with you, the hours just fly by. They feel like they don't waste any time. They feel like it's always fun and exciting and they look forward to talking to you. They have a great time being around you. They always enjoy themselves. And I feel like they love to get to be with you and get to look into your eyes. They do feel very safe. They do feel very calm around you. They do feel very relaxed around you. They do get a kick out of you. Like you make them laugh. You make them smile. Like half the things that you do, I feel like they just shake their head like, oh my gosh, pile two is so funny. I just hope that they're moving forward. Like the only way for you to take this person serious is if they're moving forward, because I feel like this is the kind of person that it could be they're not approaching because they're like not ready in their life. It could be that they're like, I have to fix this, and that's when I can approach pile two the way they want. But I would not want to be waiting for this person. I would not want to be sitting around. I feel like they need to make their move towards you and make it strong and make it clear. And if they're not doing that, then focus on yourself. But if they are doing that and they are making steps, then yeah, this person has this long-term focus with you. They do really like you. They enjoy you. They love spending time with you. They love hanging out with you. They feel very relaxed in your presence. They feel very like confident and calm and peaceful, and they're not like stressed when they're around you. So there is a lot of positivity here and a lot of deep feeling, a lot of emotion. Let's get into these cards for you. Pile number two. Let's get some astro dice for pile two. Okay, the 12th house. Oh, wow. So we got double Pisces. So I don't actually love when we get double. So I'm going to spin this around, but I will also count this as a double Pisces, and I'll go back to that. Okay, so we have Sagittarius and then we also got the nodes. So I feel like for you guys, I mean, technically this is like the north node, but it's upside down. That's always really confusing. So it was the south node, but anyway, I guess we'll go with the north node since that's what's on the dice. So the north node in Sagittarius in the 12th house. So the 12th house makes a lot of sense because it's actually where things are hidden from us. So like if someone has a lot of placements in your 12th house, like their Venus in your 12th house, you might not ever really know how they feel. They could feel very strongly for you, but you're always like confused. You're always doubting it. You're always like, do you really care? I don't know. Like, I can't really tell. Or they tell you something and they have Mercury in your 12th house and you don't like fully understand it. Like, you're like, what? I don't get it. And they have to repeat themselves to you a bunch of times, and you never really feel like you fully understand what they're saying. The 12th house is where things get really hidden and obfuscated from us and kind of blocked, and it's hard for us to see. So it makes sense because I feel like those feelings and emotions are there for you, but maybe they're confused. They could be, in a confused time in their life, or you could be just like, I don't know if I can trust you. I feel like their emotions are there. We just need to follow up with that behavior. It's kind of interesting actually on that because we got Pisces and Sag, and those are the two Jupiter ruled signs, but they show up so differently. Pisces being the fish, Jupiter in water, and Sag being the archer, Jupiter in fire. So when you think about the archer, Jupiter is all about going somewhere, right? Motion, like having kind of a trip, a journey that you're going on. And this is why Jupiter and Sagittarius rule travel. So Pisces has this energy too, but the difference is Sagittarius is like the archer and they're deliberately aiming. They know where they want to go. Before they send that arrow, they're like aiming specifically, pointing it, being very deliberate. And that's why Sagittarians are so great at accomplishing stuff. Pisces is the fish. So fish, may have a vague idea of like, oh, this is where I want to go, but they're also going to be influenced by the current. They're going to maybe change their mind. They're going to swim through the water, which is kind of hard to see. So they both end up there. They both end up like accomplishing stuff, but a lot of times the Sagittarius is so much more direct about it, gets there faster, makes it happen, and makes sure that I end up specifically at that end goal. Whereas a Pisces can kind of get detoured, and sometimes it's a magical detour, but sometimes it's a waste of time. And like sometimes they end up in their destination, but it took 10 times longer. And there's kind of this confusion with Pisces. So that's what I mean. I feel like this person really likes you, like they do really like you, but this energy, it's either they're coming correct and they're being deliberate or they're not. And I feel like if they're not, this person could be that person that's like, no, I'm in love with pile two, but have you texted them? No. But have you called them? No. But have you taken steps? No. Like maybe Joe Alwyn really did love Taylor Swift, not to go on a tangent with that, but maybe he did. But in the end of the day, he wouldn't propose. And I think that's why she wanted to get married or engaged so quick in her current relationship, is because she was just like, oh my God, I waited for 6 freaking years. That's so annoying. And she wanted that like decisiveness. She wanted a man to come in and be like, I want to marry you. Let's go. Let's make this happen. Maybe Joe had deep feelings for her, but he was just like, I can't do it. And speaking of, he's a Pisces. That's how a lot of Pisces are. I'm a Pisces. I can say that. We get very in our head and kind of confused. And so he may have had those deep emotions, but like if he's not able to make this happen in the real world and actually follow through with it, then this could be a waste of time. This could be like deep love that brings you to the highest peaks and you make a family with this person with the 10 of cups. Or it could be like, I love you, but I can't, but I wrote poetry for you, but I haven't seen you in months, but I love you and don't move on. And you're just like tearing your hair out because you waited for this person. So yes, this person has a lot of feelings for you, pile two. Just make sure they are stepping forward and really acting right and coming correct and doing what they need to do. You'll know that energy when you get it. And yeah, don't tolerate anything other than that. So that is what I have for you. Pile number 2. I really hope that resonates, guys. If it does, I would love to hear from you. This one was kind of confusing to me, to be honest. So please let me know like how it resonated for you or if it made sense, because I am like, what was going on in this pile? Maybe there was too much Pisces, but 12th house energy, but I was confused too. So please let me know. Also give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe. And if you want to see more of my content, then head on over to my Patreon. Patreon. I'm not really posting as actively over here on YouTube. I'm just super busy in my life, but I am still posting over on Patreon, and I just posted readings about their hidden or forbidden fantasies towards you. So that's a little spicier, sexier reading. One about blessings in 2026 and one about friendship in your life. So there's those readings. We also have over 135 exclusive readings you'll only find on Patreon, and you also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. So if that sounds good to you and you're interested in joining me over on Patreon, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description. And if you would like to see more of, or if you would like to book a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you're looking for a quick half-hour reading, a full hour length, what am I saying? Quick half-hour reading or a full hour-length reading, whether you would like it to be focused on tarot, astrology, channeling, mediumship, whether you would like it to be pre-recorded and sent to you or live on Zoom, you get to customize your time with me. So it's the perfect session for you. If that sounds good, then head to my website, briarrosetarot.com. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very, very soon with another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile 3, welcome to reading. Let's get into your cards and see how this person feels about you. How does this person feel about pile number 3? How does this person feel about pile number 3? Okay, so we have, ooh, the Two of Swords. Ooh, the Tower. Uh-oh. What did you do to this person, pile 3? Some very negative cards. 8 of Swords. Okay. Did this person mess up? Is this person an ex? It doesn't seem like they're feeling super great about you. The King of Wands. Okay. This could be like a cheater. This could definitely be a cheater who made a mistake or cheated and regrets it, or talked to someone else and regrets it. I mean, one, this person is probably very sexually attracted to you. They very much like you sexually. And as I'm saying that, we get the Knight of Wands too, okay? They definitely think you're very hot, very sexy, very good looking. Let's get some more cards. Okay, the Hermit card. The Two of Cups. So there is that emotional connection as well. It's not just physical. It's not just that they think you're hot, although they definitely do. They also do feel an emotional connection with you. Okay, the Nine of Wands. And let's get 2 more cards for pile 3. How does this person feel towards pile 3? This one is the Four of Cups. And one final card. The King of Cups. Interesting. I feel like with this King of Wands coming out over the King of Cups, it's possible that they felt like they had a persona that they needed to put up. Like maybe they're used to being the cool guy, the sexy guy, the one who gets lots of girls, or the one who always has people interested in them, you know, and always the Lothario, like the one who is used to playing it cool and not getting emotionally deep. But now they may find themselves very much caring about you, emotionally feeling things on a deeper level than they ever have. I kind of feel like it came out of nowhere. Or actually, excuse me, I said the Four of Cups, but it is the Six of Cups. So yeah, you kind of make them feel like a kid again. You kind of make them feel like they are young again, you know, like they have that puppy love that they haven't felt for a really long time. There is that deep connection with the Two of Cups, so like they definitely care about you. I also feel like this person is balancing between, like I said, a persona that they put on and maybe expectations other people have of them. With this King of Wands and the Knight of Wands, they may feel a lot of social pressure to be cool or not to be down bad, not to be a simp, not to be desperate. And I feel like they feel very strongly that they have to keep up this reputation. And it's like that is battling with them on the inside, where maybe they do want to approach you, maybe they care a lot about you, but there's also this part of them that feels like if they really fall into that full King of Cups energy and they just become so deeply obsessed with you that they're going to lose something. Maybe they're afraid they would actually turn you off, or maybe they're just afraid of like their friends clowning them being called, like I said, a simp, a loser, people being like, oh, that's so lame. You're so, you're so obsessed, or you're so pathetic, you're crying, you're writing poetry. I feel like this person has some negative associations with kind of over emotionality, like feeling like if they were to pour their heart out and write a love note, then, they would be such a loser. That would be so lame. Maybe that people in their life would make fun of them. People in their life would think of them as a dork. I feel like they kind of have this inner voice and this part of themselves that has always been kind of wild and free and done their own thing and lived their own life and done whatever they wanted. And now I also feel like maybe some of it could be like fear of being tied down or fear of having someone else like control them. They may have had a lot of negative associations with relationships. Maybe their parents are divorced, or they saw some media of like someone, in an unhappy marriage or something. I feel like they definitely have this push pull between what their heart wants and what their mind is telling them, or what their expectation of the world, or what they would like to be, the persona they want to be, they want to have. They may also have a fear of letting someone in and letting them see their soft center, not wanting to open their heart up to you and have you like be like, oh, actually, never mind. I thought you were super cool. I thought you were this king of wands, knight of wands, but you're actually this like pathetic little king of cups, and you're like crying and you have all these emotions. And I thought you were this sexy guy, but you're actually this loser. I feel like they have a little bit of that feeling that if they really fully let you in, then almost like their world would be over. Maybe that's why we got the Tower and so many negative cards, the Two of Swords, the Eight of Swords. And those aren't like all negative, usually, not super positive, but it's mostly just feeling really confused, feeling kind of stuck and confused and not sure what to do. So I feel like with this person as well, they just might not know how to proceed. Their inner emotions may really be in turmoil between kind of how they're actually feeling and how they would want to approach you, and how they feel like they need to approach you. Like, I feel like it's kind of like we all see content online that's like, oh, don't come on too strong with him and be in your black cat energy and, make him chase you. And I feel like guys also get that same stuff where it's like, don't call a girl after the first date and make her come to you. And if she doesn't text you, she's not into you. Or if she doesn't sleep with you by the blah, blah date, she's not into you. So I don't know if that's what it is. But I do feel like this person feels like they need to put up a persona. I feel like they feel like you would not be pleased if you kind of popped the hood and saw what was under the surface. I feel like this person honestly does have a little bit of a fear of intimacy, and they kind of feel like how they want to approach you versus how they should show up in the world are worlds apart and just not really easily reconcilable. I feel like in a way this person feels like they have something to defend, their reputation, their energy. They don't want to let their guard down and then be in a lot of pain. Kind of like the Trojan horse, how in Troy, I think it was, the Trojans, they opened the walls and the gates up to whatever opposing army who brought in like what they thought was like a gift of a beautiful horse statue, and it was filled with soldiers, and then they defeated all the Trojans. It feels like maybe this person has a little bit of that mentality that like if someone gets into their heart, they're just going to hurt them. They can't trust anyone. They have to have their guard up. They have to push people away. And why would you even like me? And if you actually knew the real me, you wouldn't like me that much. So I think that they, if they haven't responded to a text in a while, or they haven't like called you back, I also feel like this person is kind of just locked in indecision. Like they might be really going back and forth in their mind, like, what do I say? What do I text them? I'm not sure. That's lame. What if I said that? No, people would judge me. Like, I think that they really have a lot of that lack of clarity in their mind and not being sure what the right path to go on. And it may be really weighing on them with the Tower card, especially if like a lot of time has passed. I feel like this person feels very bad about it, feels very defeated about it. They could also just be going through a lot in their other life, but I feel like for them, they may feel like too much time has passed to send a text or to call you. Like it would be awkward now if they reach out. They may feel like they don't know how to proceed. And whatever they do, it almost feels like a lose-lose for them. Either they lose a part of their identity, they lose a part of their inner self conception, their idea of themselves, or they're going to lose you, which they also don't like. So I do feel like this person is going through a little bit of that inner battle and trying to kind of maintain their own dignity is how it feels to them, even though I wouldn't say like, oh, you need to be a hard, steely rock of a person to get dignity. But I think that's kind of how they view it. Like they may see people being very emotional in public or doing PDA in public, like a couple making out on the streets of Italy, and look at it as like, that is so embarrassing, and oh my God, I would never do that. Or hear a story about like a guy who wrote a love letter a day for his wife and say like, oh, he's a loser, like he's a simp. I feel like this person feels really strongly about they want to like put their best foot forward. They want to be able to be proud. They want to be able to tell their friends like, heck yeah, we smashed and I was the one in control. They feel that like they need to kind of be in control to feel safe. They need to feel like you're really into them in order to feel safe. And I feel like they kind of can't read you. So it's hard for them to get that feeling of safety. With the Hermit card, they see you as very mysterious. They see you as very different, very unique, and not like other people that they've met. So they're very like curious about you. And I also feel like it's something where they really can't get you out of their minds. And that has driven them crazy. Like Spirit is mentioning to me that they may even think of you while they're with someone else, if you catch my drift. I feel like you stay on their mind quite a lot. And that's something that I feel like also has bothered them, is in a way this person is trying to run away. They're trying to get away from this dynamic, and they don't want to be as obsessed with you. They don't want to be down bad. In their ideal relationship, maybe the person would be way more into them than they are into the other person, and the person is just trying to get their approval and really likes them, and then this person can be like cool, calm, and collected and standoffish and not do much. But I feel like with you, they find themselves thinking of you a lot. They find themselves really drawn to you and kind of obsessed, like very much mind going back to you all the time. If this is like a new relationship, yeah, there could be a lot of hot and cold energy where sometimes you might be quite confused and be like, I don't get what's going on. Like, does this person actually like me or do they not? Why are they texting me and now they're silent? Why are they saying, I'd love to see you, let's meet up? And then I don't see them again for a long time. And I do feel like there's this very kind of like inner, I want to say discipline, because it does take effort for them to not text you. Like if they were to truly be completely honest, they would text you and they would confess their emotions. And it does take effort for them not to do that. It is something they kind of have to actively try not to do, and not to, like I said, they view it as like making a fool of themselves. Let's get into these cards for you, pile number. But I feel like as well with the Six of Cups, I'm hearing this person is surprised by how much fun they have with you. Like, I feel like when they met you, or in general with other relationships, they just don't have as much fun. They see you as like so funny, and they find themselves really looking forward to being with you. Again, it's kind of like if someone is the Knight or the King of Wands, not to be kind of gross, but that could be someone who's very like obsessed with sex, if I'm being honest. And it could be that person that like sleeps with people just for that physical release, but doesn't actually care about the person. And maybe when they're done, having sex with the person, they might be like, oh, I hope this person leaves. Let me get them out. Let me call them an Uber as quickly as possible. Let me tell them I have an early morning meeting because, yeah, I just wanted sex and now that's it. And it could be someone who, has fun, enjoys themselves, but isn't like, oh, I love this person. There's such a blast and I laugh with them and I have the best time. It could be someone that is very like almost transactional or standoffish in that way. Like, okay, I got what I wanted, cool, that's it, and maybe even emotionally and sexually fulfilled in different ways. Like maybe they enjoy hanging out with their friends and chatting with their friends and having conversation with their friends. But when it comes to their lovers or their sexual partners, it's like, no, it's just about the physical. Whereas I feel like with you, they have such a good time with you. They just love being with you. They feel so relaxed around you and they kind of can't figure out why. Like it's very perplexing for them because they're not used to that. They're used to just it being physical and then that's it and on to the next. But with you, it's like, I don't want them to leave after we sleep together, or I don't just view them in a sexual light. Like I actually like hearing them talk. I actually yeah, I am attracted to them, but like I want to be around them all the time. I want to like hang out with them all day. I don't want to kick them out in the middle of the night or get them an Uber to go home. I want them to like have breakfast with me and like let's actually hang out after and let's go, for a picnic in the afternoon and let's watch movies that night. Let's spend the whole week together. So, yeah, I think that's very different for this person and maybe that's why they're kind of like a little shocked and don't know how to proceed. Let's get some more cards for you. Pile number 3. So we got trunk, stability, loyalty, reliability. How does this person feel towards pile 3, Spirit? How does this person feel towards pile 3? This one is autumn, bounty, balance. That's another thing with the autumn card is this person may have a lot of choices. They could be that king and the Knight of Wands. So they could be someone who is very sexually successful and has a lot of like romantic options. And in that sense, I feel like in a way also that could give them that confusion where like I heard this thing that if a restaurant has like a menu over a certain number of items and it's not that much, it's like, I don't know, maybe 12 or 15, not a lot at all. If they have more items than that, then people actually buy less because they get so confused. So you would think like the more options you have, like a Cheesecake Factory type of restaurant that has like 100 different dishes you could order, that like, oh, they're gonna sell a lot because people can pick out exactly what they want and they can get the very specific chicken dish and this on the side or whatever. But no, actually, when you have a really limited menu and there's only like a few things to choose from, people kind of resign themselves to like, oh, it won't be the perfect dish. But yeah, this sounds good and I'll get that. And they just psychologically kind of accept like, oh, I don't have that many options, so this looks good. Sure, I'll settle for that. And then if it is like a super long menu, like 100 items, people tend to get overwhelmed and kind of feel like spoiled for choice where they are like, well, I could have this, but what about that? That looks really good. And also my fave is this. So they end up kind of overthinking and ultimately they buy a lot less. So I almost feel like this person could be dealing with that as well in terms of like their romantic options because I do feel like they have a lot. They have a lot of choices. And they're kind of like almost in a position of being on a pedestal in some ways. Maybe even it's that their friends look up to them. Maybe they are the Lothario of their group, the King of Wands, the Knight of Wands of their friend group, where their friends are always like, oh, wow, you always get girls, you always get laid, you always have this romantic success. And so their friends might kind of gas them up and live vicariously through them and be like, hey, I want to hear all about this weekend. How many girls did you hook up with? You got to tell me all the crazy stories. that kind of a thing, you know? I'm not saying it has to be that level of intense and constantly hooking up, but maybe they have quite a lot of success and they kind of feel like they have lots of choices. And they're like, I know I have these options, so I don't want to ruin it. I do feel like this person is very much in their head, kind of an overthinker, overthinking it and just like deliberating and going back and forth. And that's actually like holding them back than if they just made a choice. Let's get into some more cards for you. Pile number 3. This one is rain, cleansing, purification, hydration. And let's get one more card for you. Pile number 3. This one says walking staff, support, encouragement. I feel like they feel very supported by you. Like things you have said have stayed in their mind, but they honestly feel like they have a little bit of trust issues. Like they just don't know if they can believe you or they can kind of believe anyone. I think there's a part of them that does feel like everyone either takes advantage of them or everyone isn't to be trusted. I think there's something about you that they're so intrigued by. And again, it's almost like against their better judgment. Like they don't want to still be thinking of you. They don't want to be obsessed, but they kind of can't help it. Like they really still think a lot about you. You're still on their mind a lot. And no matter how much they try to get away from it, it's like you just pop into their mind at all kinds of times. I feel like this person is saying, this is so inconvenient. Like it's almost like, sorry guys, I had to pause for a moment because my storage was full. But as I was saying, this person may feel like they're building something. They built a reputation, they're building something in life. They may feel like they kind of have a lot to lose somehow, whether that's like relationships with others, be it friends, or even like, oh, I'm used to hooking up all the time and I have to give that up. Or, you know, some kind of like community feeling, or even like I'm super focused on work and I used to be fine. Like I'd have my hookups and I would limit it to that, but now I'm thinking of pile 3 all the time. Either way, I feel like this person has this sense almost that I don't know, it's shaking their identity somehow. It's making them question themselves and like question who they are in a way that I feel like is just not comfortable for them. But let's get into some song cards for you. Pile number 3. Okay, so we got 2. This one is Daylight, Taylor Swift. Then we also have Sex with My Ex, Lil Peep. So they may feel like the sex with you is way better than it is with anyone else as well. It's all coming back to me now. Celine Dion, Now That I Found You, Carly Rae Jepsen. See, I feel like that song has that energy that like, now that I found you, everything's changing. Now that, you know, I'm around you, like this could change everything in my life. Honey and I, Hayam. We also got Sunflower by Post Malone. Someone spilled water on my cards, so they're a little messy. I need to like make new ones or correct them, but I love these old cards, so I still use them. Only You, Ellie Goulding. My Favorite Mistake, Sheryl Crow. So Happy I Could Die, Lady Gaga. And Rehab, Rihanna. I feel like this person feels so happy and positive around you. I mean, we got Sunflower by Post Malone, and then we got So Happy I Could Die. There's just this beautiful, like I said, the 6 of Cups feeling. Like being around with you is almost like being with a best friend. And that's why I feel like it's kind of been a shock to this person, because I feel like most of the time they've kind of limited things to like different boxes. Like, okay, this is my friend and I hang out with this person and we have fun and we talk and we like know about each other and we wish each other happy birthday and we hang out all the time and I enjoy them. And like, so that means they're a friend. This person I like to have sex with, so we have sex and it's limited to that. And there's no emotions. Like it's just kind of, even if there's a little emotions, like it's limited. It's kind of in its box. It's under control. I'm not really being threatened. And I feel like in a way they feel like they're being threatened by you. Not that you're actually like physically threatening them with violence, but I feel like your presence in their life is almost a threat to that status quo, to the to the way that they like know exactly how their day is going to go, and they know what to expect when they wake up, and they feel very in control of their relationships most of the time. They feel like they kind of call the shots and run the show, and their heart isn't really on the line, you know? They're not really afraid that like they're going to be broken up with. That's why you got only you. Like you're the only one who can make them nervous that like they could actually crush my heart. They could actually make me sad. They could actually take all these feelings and they could explode out of my chest. And I wasn't even looking for that. Like I was perfectly happy just being the one in control and calling the shots and running the show. And I didn't want that to change. And in a way, like I wish I could have the dynamic with pile 3 that I have with everyone else. Like I feel so in control with lots of other people, but with pile 3, I feel like they're in control kind of. So I feel like they're very like, what is going on? And they don't like it, but in a way they do like it. And it's a very much push-pull. In some ways, like they're very exhilarated. They're like, okay, I really like being with pal 3 and this is exciting, but they don't like the feeling of powerlessness. They don't like that they're questioning themselves. They might even be more self-conscious around you than they are with anyone else. Like with everyone else, they might feel like they are that Knight of Wands. They know exactly what to say. They know exactly how to say it. They're very suave. They're very charismatic. They can talk. They can flirt. They can be chill. But with you, they might be questioning every word and being like, was that stupid? Did I say that? Did I say that right? Like, that was dumb. I should have said it this way. Like, they're probably judging me and they want something else from me. They want more from me. And in a way, I want to give that to them, but I'm also scared of it. So yeah, I feel like it's just kind of taken them for a loop. And you know, they have two sides of themselves that are kind of at battle, where they really like you, but they're not afraid of the kind of destabilizing effect you've had on their life. That's made them question a lot and maybe made them afraid that like, who am I turning into? Let's get into these astro dice for you, pile number 3. So we have Sagittarius, we have the 9th house, aka Sagittarius, and we have Saturn. So I'm gonna roll this again since it's double Sag. Oh, okay, Sag really wants to come through. One more try, and if it's Sag, I'll just, okay, it's just Sag. So this person, Spirit is like, did I stutter? It's Sag energy, Sagittarius, Jupiter. So that's what we'll go with. We have double Sagittarius and we have Capricorn energy or Saturn energy. So Sagittarius, technically it is Saturn and Sagittarius in the 9th house. So Sagittarius is all about travel, expansion. And you know, now that I think about it, I'm like, oh, this is the perfect combination because these two signs are kind of opposites. They're not literally opposing on the astrological wheel, but in so many ways they're opposites. They're right next to each other in neighboring houses, which often have like corrective energy, like each sign comes through to correct the one before it and the excesses. And so Capricorn is all about hard work and steady and commitment and like buckling down and deciding on something and accepting the good and the bad and working through it and hard work. And yeah, and then you have Sagittarius, and Sagittarius just likes what's easy, and Sagittarius likes what's fun and a little bit of a challenge, but not too much, and learning and excitement and something new. And there's a very much a positive vibe to Sagittarius, and then Capricorn is maybe a little more negative. Anyway, I feel like this is kind of summing up like this balance or this tension in this person's mind. They were definitely in some Sagittarius energy before, exploring the world, talking to different people, having maybe lots of different romantic or sexual partners, exploring, having fun, not being tied down. Sagittarius does not like to be tied down. It's very independent. And then maybe their view of relationships is kind of more Capricorn, and Capricorn is about kind of suffering and hard work. And, you know, it's not about easy. It can be very difficult. It's like maybe their idea of relationships, maybe, you know, they had parents that argued a lot growing up or that had a rough divorce, but they might have an idea or an association of relationships that like, oh God, it's going to be tied down. It's going to be Saturnian. It's going to be Capricorn vibes. It's going to be so hard and I'm going to have to work on it. And I'm not going to have all these choices and I don't get to go where I want. And I want to stay in my Sagittarius energy. I want to keep having fun, keep exploring, having this excitement around me. So, it's kind of that inner battle that they're going through where they have to figure out what they want. I feel like they definitely want you, but it's almost like it might be too much of a sacrifice where they're having to decide, like, am I really ready to give this up? I feel like they like you enough that like they definitely could choose to pursue you and be like, yep, it's worth it. I'm just going to give this stuff up. And you know what? I'm actually going to be happy I did it. And, no regrets. I'm so happy now. But it's going to take a lot of bravery from this person because they might have some very negative associations in their mind with relationships or with their even positive relationships or associations with their prior self, like, oh, I used to be so free. I do what I want. I hook up with whoever I want. I'm not tied down. And they think that's really cool. And now they have to kind of question, like, is this what I want? Or actually, I think I'm just happier with pile three. So even though I wasn't looking for a relationship, I don't want to lose pile three. So yes, I'm willing to settle down, but it does feel like it's a big decision they kind of have to make. And they're still kind of torn, so they're still making their mind up. They are so drawn towards you, pile three. They really, really like you. And then it's kind of like that inner battle for themselves of like, am I ready? Like I would be totally down for pile three, but am I ready for this? So yeah, that is what I have for you. Pile number three. I really hope that resonates, guys. I would love to hear from you about whether it did or not, whether you do feel like this person was like afraid to settle down, or maybe they were a player or not. Let me know in the comments. Also, make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe. And if you want to see more of my content, then head to my Patreon to see all my additional readings. There are so many readings, over 135 exclusive readings. I'm posting over on Patreon now because I'm just super busy in my regular life, so not as able to be active here on YouTube. But I just posted readings on Patreon about their forbidden desires for you, and also one about blessings in 2026. There's also a reading about friendship in general. So there's lots of different content to choose from. And like I said, over 135 exclusive readings. And then you also get access to all my YouTube stuff before anyone else. So if that sounds good to you, then head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description, and I would love to see you there. Also, if you would like to book a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you're looking for a quick half-hour reading, a full hour-length reading, whether you want it to be focused on tarot, astrology, channeling, mediumship, a combination, whether you would like it to be pre-recorded and sent to your email or live on Zoom, you get to customize your time with me, so it's the perfect session for you. If that sounds good, then head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very, very soon with another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile four, welcome to your reading. Let's get into your cards and see how this person feels about you. How does this person feel about pile four? So we got the Ace of Swords. Okay. So they may be wanting to reach out to you. The King of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. Okay. Four of Pentacles. The Emperor. Can tell you right off the bat, this person has a lot of respect for you, and there's a part of them that is wondering if they're good enough or trying to get good enough in order to be with you. The Knight of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, they might feel like that's blocked somehow, like they're not really able to step into that energy in the way that they want. Like they want to be able to truly put their best foot forward and impress you in a deep way, but they feel like they can't. The Knight of Wands and the Six of Cups. So yeah, I feel like this person really likes you, but they might have an idea of like relationships as like they have to show up in a certain way. Like if they don't have enough money, they're not going to be accepted, or if they can't have the best body, or they might also, like, sometimes talking to them might sometimes feel a little almost awkward or rehearsed, because I feel like sometimes they feel very strongly like they kind of have to be the powerful one in the conversation, meaning like they have to be the witty one, they have to be the smart one, they have to be the one who says the right thing. So it might be something that, like, sometimes they hold themselves back or they don't really speak up, and that's because I feel like they're kind of trying to make sure that they, like I said, say the right thing. They don't want to end up having you be like, that was such a dorky line, or like, did you just snort when you laugh? Or I don't know what you just said. Like, I don't agree. Like, I feel like that really weighs heavily in their mind, trying to make sure that, like, they're not going to mess things up, trying to make sure that, like, they always put their best foot forward with you. I feel like, in a way, meeting you kind of made them question themselves a little bit. Like, maybe they were feeling pretty confident before, but they do see you as this Queen of Swords. They see you as someone who's very good with your words, very intelligent, very incisive, even that you might see through their veneer. Like, I feel like they can kind of feel powerful and strong and confident with a lot of other people, but with you, it's like you are very incisive. You see through a lot of the BS, and if someone is like trying to say a line with you or trying to impress you through shallow means, like, you definitely notice that. But I feel like this person kind of, you do bring out a little insecurity in them. Like, they're not quite sure how to impress you. And I almost feel like they might just go to those very traditional, almost stereotypical means to impress a woman or, a man maybe. But like, so maybe they're trying to get their money up. Maybe they're trying to make more money and like show you some fancy things, give you some fancy things. Maybe they're trying to get their body into different shape and look better. Maybe they're trying to seem more popular or more powerful or more in charge. So I feel like they might even be going through like a process of self-improvement. If you're in a relationship with this person, honestly, this could be a good thing. Like, they're planning long term. They want to get their money right. They want to get their finances in order. They want to be able to take you to a nice, beautiful vacation or buy you a ring or get a house. But if you're like, why haven't I heard from this person? It could be because you bring out that insecurity in them, and they could be like trying to come back or circle back around when these things are right. It could even be kind of an excuse they're giving themselves, like, okay, well, one day I'm going to have my finances right, and that's when I'll approach pile four. One day I'm going to have everything in order. I feel like it's almost like you brought out this self-consciousness in them that they're not used to feeling. With the Six of Cups, I feel like they truly enjoy being around you. Like, they really love spending time with you. But there's also this feeling that they have of not being good enough at the same time. Like, I feel like there's this intimacy with you that they don't have with others. Like, things just flow with you. And maybe they even find themselves like opening up, saying something they would never usually tell anyone else, or, being more direct about something. And then afterwards being like, why did I say that? Why did I tell them that? Like, they're not supposed to know. Like, I haven't told anyone that. They're not supposed to know about this. Like, what the heck am I doing? I feel like there's a part of them that definitely like enjoys spending time with you, but then they're also almost a little confused by it. I wouldn't be surprised if this person as well was not looking for a relationship when you met them, or to be completely honest, if I'm going to be totally blunt, maybe you weren't the kind of person they were looking for in some way. Like, maybe you have different hair than they imagined, or they thought they liked blondes, but you're brunette. It could be something silly and shallow and stupid, but I feel like there's a part of them that's kind of like, well, I didn't think I would like a person who, I don't know, is older than me or is younger than me or is, kind of like really funny and a comedian. And I never usually thought I would want like a goofy girl. I thought I wanted a goth girl. Like, I feel like it's superficial, but there's things about you that this person was not expecting, maybe also not expecting the relationship. And in a way, again, I feel like you kind of brought down their defenses because usually I almost feel like what's so funny is like this person kind of has a script in their mind every time of like how they expect things to go, you know? And it probably works a lot of the time where like they go on a date and they're like, okay, I'm going to tell them this story. They'll be impressed by that. Or, and then I'm going to do this or mention that. And I feel like in a way, them talking to you, you like completely went off script or something. Like you were kind of, maybe usually they tell this funny story about like, right, so at college, me and some of my frat bros, we rented a cabin in the mountains, and we ended up like getting stranded at the lake on some raft, and we had to spend the night there. And usually, like everyone laughs, and it's like kind of they're telling that story on purpose to impress the person because they're mentioning like, oh, my college, aka I graduated college, and my frat bros. So they're like, oh, they're in a frat, they're socially skilled, so that's great. And so they like might tell this story and everyone is like, oh, that's so funny, ha ha ha, and laughs at the story, and it's like makes polite conversation. But maybe you will like said something crazy to this person, or maybe you're like, oh my god, I was stranded out on the middle of the lake too with my sister. That's crazy. Like I feel like there were things you do that like just this person's always like, wait, but you were supposed to say that, like you were supposed to say, oh, what a great story. Okay, cool. What frat were you in? Not like telling your own crazy story about the time that you like mountain climbed some mountain without any gear and you ended up stranded there for the night. And like, what? Like, I almost feel like sometimes they're a little like off put by it. Like, what? This was not what I signed up for. Kind of a little bit like, whoa, this girl's a little crazy, but I feel like they really like it, and they also find themselves kind of opening up to you more, and just like they kind of can't make sense of it, you know? Like if they could actually write a script for who they would date, in all honesty, it probably wouldn't be you. And I don't mean that in like a bad way, they don't like you or they're not attracted. I just feel like this person had an idea in their mind of like maybe who they would be with or who they would marry, and maybe it was someone very different and someone who was more almost conventional for them in some way. And I feel like with you, it's almost like there's no logic behind it. Like it doesn't make sense. It's not like they're like, this is great for my career and we have so much in common and our families will get along. I feel like they're like, I think this person might be nuts, but I can't get enough of them and I really like them. So yeah, I feel like they kind of, with that Six of Cups, they do love being around you. They have so much fun with you. They enjoy you. But like I said, it's kind of not in their script. And this person is, I think, kind of conventional and ambitious with that King of Pentacles coming through. So in a way, it also might kind of veer them off that somehow. Like the Emperor, they do want to have a good reputation. They do want people to revere them. They do want to succeed and have power. And I feel like they're kind of wondering, like, is this compatible with my life? Is this something that could actually make sense long term? Or am I just kind of crazy for trying to make this work? Like maybe we are just not, we don't really fit together in that way. And I just have to like accept it and admit it and deal with it. But yeah, I feel like for them, they might distract themselves or keep themselves busy in the meantime with this Knight of Wands coming out. Um, they could be kind of like taking their mind off it, because with the Nine of Swords, I feel like they kind of don't know what to do. So I could totally see this working out into a relationship. And for some of you guys, you might be like, yeah, this is my partner and we are unconventional, but he's super loyal. And in that case, it's great. But for those of you guys where this was like an ex or a crush or a situationship that didn't work out, I feel like this person, maybe the side of them that's very conventional or thinking about like the right thing to do, quote unquote, won out, and they're kind of like, I gotta focus on like my career and my job and what's good for me and what looks good to my bosses and whatever. And so I feel like for them, you know, they are upset about it with that Nine of Swords. It is bothering them. They are sad about it, and they might be doing a lot to kind of take their mind off it with that Knight of wands and trying to just distract themselves and find other things to do and hoping that they can kind of blot this out a little bit, take their memory away, not think of you all the time. I feel like this person, it's almost like I'm hearing in my mind, I had a damn good reason. So I feel like there could even be an energy sometimes of almost like defensiveness around it. Like, hey, wait a minute. I didn't do anything bad. How dare you say I did? Kind of like sometimes they feel justified. Or if there was a breakup, maybe it was like they came up with a reason and it felt really true. Like maybe you went through their phone, or like, I don't know, you didn't text them back, or something happened and there was a falling out, and it was like this person feels like, yeah, it wasn't my fault, it was pile four's fault. But I feel like deep down, they are aware that they could have approached things differently. um yeah, I feel like they would like to reach out, but there's also kind of this, I can't afford to focus on this right now. Like, I can't afford to humble myself and come to pile four right now. Also, they're saying some of you guys are like emotionally messy, is what they said. Like, maybe you're the kind of person that, like, and hey, I'm a water sign, I'm a Pisces with a Cancer moon, so no judgment. But maybe they do feel like you would be emotional, like you would be like, how dare you, and I can't believe you did this to me, and blah, blah, blah. And so I feel like for them, they might dread doing it for that reason, or they're like, they can't take it, they don't understand, like they're just gonna go crazy on me. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of their defense or their excuse that they tell themselves. But honestly, yeah, I could see some of you guys being in a relationship with this person, and that they are really planning for that long-term future. This person really seems like they could be thinking very long-term about you guys and really trying to make sure that they kind of have their ish together. It also could be really hard for them to balance work and the rest of their life with this Four of Pentacles. So that could be another factor. Let's get into these cards for you. Pile number 4. Okay, so we got broom, energy clearing, freshening. Let's see how does this person feel about pile number 3, Spirit? This one is mortar and pestle, integration, subtlety, thoroughness, earth, peace, grounding. And one more card for pile 4. How does this person feel towards pile 4? Snow, rest, contemplation. So they're thinking about it a lot. They are still thinking about it, even if it seems like nothing's happening. I feel like they're kind of going back and forth in their mind. It's interesting we got Earth, because you guys got so much Earth energy here, so many Pentacles, the King and the Knight of Pentacles. So I don't know if this person is an Earth sign. They do feel very grounded, and generally speaking, Earth signs don't like to rush into anything. So that could be why, if like things are taking a while, why they're thinking so much on things. I think that's one of the things about Earth that can seem a little unromantic, especially to like water or fire signs that really like passion and acting and just do something, just take action. But Earth doesn't act that way, and Earth's romance is like slower to build and more intentional, more methodical. So it's not always going to be that person that like writes you the best love notes and buys you 200 roses and sweeps you off your feet and is the most romantic, like takes you out to the best restaurant and you salsa dance. And it's not so much like that. It's more like maybe an earth sign will, do your taxes for you, or like cook for you, or build a life with you slowly. And in that way, it's almost like more romantic, but it doesn't seem like that on the surface, right? On the surface, it can seem like, do they even like me? Like they haven't sent me a love note. They're not, it's not this like crazy passion throwing someone against a wall and like, oh my God, it's so fast moving, 0 to 60. It's kind of slower and more intentional. So just know this person could be taking their time with it, thinking about it, but it doesn't mean that they don't like you, and it doesn't mean that they're not thinking of you or into you in that way. But I feel like this person has to process things a lot before they act, and you are on their mind. I feel like they have a lot of things that they're thinking about, and they want to make sure that they do things right. Again, if you're in a relationship with this person, this could just be someone who's very intentional with you and wanting to make sure that like they have the 401k on point, and that their financial situation is good, and that when you come over to their apartment it's all neat and tidy and there's nothing crazy going on. But I also feel like if you haven't heard from this person, they could be thinking of you, but this person also does have a lot on their plate. They are dealing with a lot emotionally and just life wise. It feels like they are stressed and trying to kind of figure stuff out, I guess, trying to make sure everything in their life is aligned correctly. They could be very harsh with themselves. They could be that kind of person that, like, if they don't have things right in their life, if they don't have the right finances, they're not going to go into a bunch of credit card debt. They're not going to like flash, buy a Lamborghini just to show it off if they can't afford it. They're going to really make sure that everything is done right. And that does take time. Like, that takes the whole process. So that could be why this person is just not rushing in. I feel like they are dealing with a lot, and they do really enjoy talking to you and being around you. They are very attracted to you, but I also feel like this person is just having a lot on their plate, maybe even family stuff or stuff outside their career or their job. But yeah, it feels a little bit like, I heard in my mind, I don't have time for this right now. So that's also kind of a concern for them, is trying to figure out the rest of their life and trying to make sure that all of that is balanced, and also to a certain extent trying to get the right persona for themselves, the right public identity. Someone just popped into my mind who's like a senator, and I feel like in that sense as well, how like it's like in Legally Blonde when Warner is breaking up with Elle at the beginning, and he says like, babe, you're Marilyn, if I'm going to be a governor, I need to be with the Jackie. And so it's like he really likes Elle, maybe he's even in love with Elle, but he's also aware of what society and his family expect of him. So he can't be with like the sexy blonde, with the tight dresses. He needs to be with like a conservative brunette. And I do feel like there's an aspect of this with this person. They are quite ambitious and probably want to accomplish a lot and want to make sure that like whatever's going on in their life fits into this kind of long-term plan and is possible for them to achieve the stuff they want to achieve. So again, I feel like they love that you're kind of different and quirky and unique, but they're also trying to maintain a little bit of a reputation and make sure that they're putting their best foot forward with that. So even if you like, maybe you text them sometimes goofy stuff and they're like, oh, if someone saw this, or if this got leaked, I'd be like, people would make fun of me, or I'd get canceled, or, I'd be like, people would be like mad at me somehow. Like my bros would clown me for texting a girl like this, so I'm not gonna engage in this way. There is a little bit of that like reputation management that I keep getting with this person. Let's get into this astrology, or excuse me, not the astrology. We're gonna get into my song cards. Let's see what songs want to come through for this person. Moi Je Joue, Bridget Bardot. Run Away With Me, Carly Rae Jepsen. Ivy, Taylor Swift. This one is It's Too Late, Carole King. Never Gonna Give You Up, The Black Keys. Wait for Me, Hall & Oates. 5 Years Time, Noah and the Whale. Sunday Morning, No Doubt. telling you, they have a long-term plan. Like all these things have to do with time, right? They are very time oriented. Every little kiss, Bruce Hornsby. I also feel like this person is very physical, like very physically rooted in their body. And they, you know, if I'm going to be honest, like sex matters a lot to them, kind of. They're very like, they need to feel things physically, I guess. So I feel like there is this very passionate side to them that is now kind of coming through. They are very attracted to you. They do feel very possessive of you, but and they love that you have this kind of like free spirited energy and you're not easily controlled. I just feel like they also like lots of things that are going through their mind are kind of practical, you know, like, okay, well, how is this person going to do when they meet my family? How's this person going to do when they meet my boss? Are they going to be able to manage like running a household with me or whatever? They are a very practical minded person, but we did get so many cards around time. And I wouldn't be surprised if this person has the intention, like I said, of coming back when they're like a better version of themselves. They may also see you as someone who you expect a lot and they need to get their money right. They need to get their financial situation good. They need to make sure that they have, you know, the kind of body that you would want and be attracted to. And that might even be their way of like coping with it, where they tell themselves like, okay, I'm going to approach in like a month when I've been hitting the gym consistently. And then a month goes by and then it's like, well, I'm not ready yet, but I'll text them in 2 months. And then 2 months go by. Like, I kind of feel like that's their way of like being able to chicken out and not feel bad about it, because they do always have kind of a excuse or a reason why they're not coming forward right at that moment. They always have a kind of, hey, like I am doing it, it's just not now. So they don't get like completely honest with themselves and just tell themselves, hey, just do it. Like, I think they're very cautious. And I am getting this kind of tentative feeling with them, like nervousness around you, almost like you're going to see through them. You're going to judge them. Again, I feel like reputation matters a lot to this person, but they do feel this incredible spark for you. That's what I'm feeling now, is like, oof, it feels like they're just so attracted to you. It feels like they have these incredible sparks for you. I just heard the song so loud in my mind, like Sex on Fire by Kings of Leon, which I don't even know why I don't have that in my song cards. That should obviously be in there, right? But I think that they do feel like sex with you would be incredible and amazing. If you guys have had sex, they like really enjoy it. But I also feel like this person, it almost feels like they definitely want to be in control, and they might feel like you're too unpredictable to deal with. Like you're too, you know, you are that. It's funny, we got Kitchen Witch by Ariel Pink. And that's, you know, that kind of reminds me of like I don't know, calling someone like, oh, my little witch or something. Or yeah, did we get that or did I just hallucinate? I thought we got that. Maybe not. So I guess I hallucinated that. That's good to know then, that I'm having hallucinations, because why did that song come up in my mind? But I am getting that feeling that they have this kind of tenderness towards you. You know, there's also Moi Je Joue, Bridget Bardot, and that's such a playful song. I keep getting this kind of playful quality that you bring out in them. Like, I don't know if you tease them. I don't know if you make fun of them with that Queen of Swords, or you're always like arguing with them in a funny way. But I feel like they kind of have this playfulness around you, like this fun side of you, where sometimes they're like, hey, title number for you are cheeky, or like you're being mischievous, you know? Like, again, I feel like sometimes they have a script in their mind of how they want things to go. They have a script in their mind of like, okay, so we're going to go here and then we're going to do that. And you might be that person that they show up and they're like, I'm going to take you to this fancy restaurant. And you're like, no way, we're not going there. I don't want to go to that place. Let's go here. Let's go eat like a crab boil. Let's have a seafood feast and we'll eat it with our hands, and like we'll get really messy. We'll have a crawfish boil. And next thing they know, they've got like a bib on, they're peeling apart some crab and a crawfish and eating a potato, and they're like, okay, I thought we were going to a steakhouse, but this is fine. So I feel like there's this unexpected quality with you, but they really love that. They really enjoy that. And it's something that they're not sure if they like this side of themselves. They're not sure if they actually enjoy kind of entering your world, but they kind of can't stop thinking about it. The playful, like teasing quality that takes them out of their comfort zone and ruffles their feathers. It's like they never would have thought they wanted to have their feathers ruffled, but they enjoy the process. And they kind of enjoy the way you almost take them down a couple pegs and you kind of shake up their world a little bit and make them question themselves. Even though they would never have thought they wanted it, I think that yeah, you just stay in their mind, like very, very different, and kind of help them access a different part of themselves that maybe they felt like they grew up and they put behind themselves. Like, okay, I used to be also silly, but now I'm a mature, responsible man. Now I'm the emperor. And then you bring out almost a little kid in them with the Six of Cups. So it's actually really, really sweet and lovely how you make them feel. Let's get into some astro dice for you. Pile number 4. How does this person feel about pile 4? So we have Libra, we have the 12th house, aka Pisces, and we have the moon, aka Cancer. It's funny, I listed my placements and we got 2 of them. Both the ones I listed. So Libra, Pisces, and Cancer energy, technically it is Libra moon in the 12th house. So with Libra is very diplomatic and very concerned with reputation, very concerned with what do people think about me and making sure that I'm diplomatic, making sure that I'm making a good impression, always being well behaved in public. There's an elegance to Libra. I feel like that's what this person wants to embody. Like they always want to make sure they're putting their best foot forward and that people like them, people respect them, people get a good vibe from them. I feel like you bring out this kind of playful side that I do associate with Pisces and to a certain extent Cancer, where they're water signs. Water's a little bit messy. Water signs are very creative and emotional, and they might start like crying or have really high emotions in either direction. Especially Cancer could be like super happy about something and then super sad. And just like the moon, Cancer changes because the moon rules Cancer. The moon changes all the time and goes through its stages, and so does Cancer energy. It's always like fluctuating. It's never quite predictable, and that's kind of the magic of it. It can be very intoxicating to not quite know what to expect. And same with Pisces. Pisces is super creative. So Pisces loves to like do art and write and come up with stories and think outside the box. And they're not really interested in just going along with the crowd or doing what everyone else does. So I feel like this person, it's kind of like they're being torn between what they know they should do, how they know they should behave, and this beautiful energy they get when they're with you. This feeling when they're with you to a certain extent of like freedom and joy and emotion and tapping into that part of themselves that maybe feels a little bit younger, feels a little less responsible, and is more emotional. And then the side of themselves that has these goals and wants to present themselves a certain way, wants to impress others, wants to do things well. And so I feel like if that's why you haven't heard from that person, this is probably why, where they're kind of not sure how to go about it. And they feel a little bit challenged by you, like kind of like, I don't know, sometimes maybe Pile 4 is doing things that are shady. Like, did they really mean to like ruffle my hair like that when I spent, 10 minutes combing it into place with hair gel? Did they really mean to like, tell me like my hobby is lame and tease me? Or it's like you have this beautiful playfulness to you, but sometimes Pile 4 can be a little rigid and kind of expect things to go a certain way, and sometimes they almost don't know how to handle it. So they do really like you, Pile 4, but it's also maybe they're going back and forth with like, is this compatible with my life, and am I capable of doing the things I want to do if I kind of fully let pile 4 in. So yeah, that is what I have for you, pile number 4. I really hope that resonates, guys. If it does, I would love to hear from you. Do you think this person kind of puts on a persona and is worried about their identity or other people's perception of them? Do they seem like very ambitious, or maybe like they're trying to impress you specifically? I am always curious. I would love to know. So let me know in the comments. Also, make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe. And if you want to see more of my content, I am posting more on Patreon as of right now. I'm just super busy in life, so I can't film as much over on YouTube like I used to. But that's where you can go if you want to see all my current readings. I just posted readings about their forbidden desires for you, and also blessings in 2026 and a friendship reading. But there are over 135 exclusive readings you'll only find on Patreon, and you also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. So if that sounds good to you, then head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and sign up for my Patreon. Wait, you want to go to Patreon, not briarrosetarot.com. Just go to the link underneath the timestamps. If you want to go to my website, briarrosetarot.com, that's where you can book a session with me, and you get a 30-minute reading or an hour-length reading. You can have it be tarot, mediumship, astrology, channeling, a combination. You can have it be pre-recorded and sent to you, or live on Zoom with me. So you really get to choose whatever you want to make it the perfect reading for you. If that sounds good, then head to my website in the description, like I said, briarrosetarot.com. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very, very soon with another reading. Take care, guys. Bye.